Hello, so I'm going to be working on a Camry and I'm going to be replacing the spark plugs. This car is a V6, so the spark plugs are not going to be right in front similar to a 4-cylinder inline engine. For example, most 4-cylinder inline engines have the spark plugs right in front and can be accessed really easy. For this car, the spark plugs are somewhat in a tighter space, especially the spark plugs towards the firewall or the back of the car. I'm going to start with the most difficult spark plugs to remove, which are the ones towards the back. So I'm going to start with the 1, 3, and 5 cylinders. These are located towards the back of the car. To start, unplug the cable from the spark plug, get the right socket and extension, and put in the tool using your hand at first because of the tight space that the plugs are in. Then attach the ratchet onto the extension and socket. Once you have the ratchet and socket in place, you can now begin to loosen the spark plug. Remember to do it counterclockwise. So when you have loosened the spark plug, you can use your hand to loosen the rest of the spark plug. It is faster, and you can also lessen the chance of damaging the threads of the plug. When you're done loosening the spark plug, just remove it from the engine. When removing it, don't use the ratchet. Use your hand to pull out the extension and socket along with the plug. It is a tight space for this car, so maneuver it out of there the best you can. So now that the old spark plug is out, you can install the new one. Remember to gap the new spark plug properly according to the specific car that you are working on. You can find the number of how much to gap the plug in a service manual or through an online search. For example, in the Haynes manual that I have, it says to gap this particular car's spark plug 0.043 inches. So now that you've gapped the spark plug, don't forget to add some anti-seize compound so that it protects the threads from damage. When applying the compound, just try to coat all of the sides of the threads of the plug evenly. So now that the plug has been gapped properly and the compound has been applied, the spark plug is ready to go back into the engine. Just go ahead and attach the spark plug onto the socket and extension and reinstall it. I would use my hand initially to reinstall the spark plug. I would also use my hand to tighten the spark plug as well. Then when you've gotten to a point where you feel resistance, you can use the ratchet to tighten the rest of the spark plug. Now that I've gotten to the point where I felt some resistance when tightening the plug, I will continue to tighten the plug with a ratchet or torque wrench. So to remove the 3rd cylinder plug, I did the same thing as I did on the number 1 cylinder. So I put in the socket first, then the ratchet, then I loosened the plug with the ratchet, then I used my hand to loosen the rest of the plug. I found the 5th cylinder spark plug towards the back of the car on the driver's side to be the hardest to remove. To remove it, I used 2 extensions to reach towards the top of the engine, and I used the similar methods as I did for cylinders 1 and 3. Now I'm going to do the last set of plugs, which are in cylinder 2, 4, and 6. These are the ones in the front and are more easily accessed versus the ones towards the back. Doing the ones in the front are straightforward. I loosen the plugs with the ratchet, then use my hand to loosen the rest. When retightening, don't forget to gap the spark plugs and add anti-seize compound. Now that all the plugs have been replaced and everything else has been connected, we can start the car and see if everything is working properly. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you have a great day.